For many years, most of us have heard the same advice. If you want strong legs, you need to do squats. It sounds simple, and for a long time, it has been treated as a rule that applies to everyone. But what if that idea is no longer the best place to start, especially after the age of 60? As the body changes with age, so do its needs. Joints may feel more sensitive, balance may not be as steady as before, and certain movements that once felt natural can become uncomfortable. In this stage of life, doing the same exercises in the same way may not always lead to the same results. In fact, for some people, traditional squats can begin to feel more like a struggle than a solution. This does not mean that squats are bad. They are still a valuable movement when used in the right context, but the important point is this: they are not always the most effective or safest starting point for everyone. When form is not well controlled, squats can place extra pressure on the knees and lower back. Over time, this can create discomfort and make it harder to stay consistent with exercise. This is where a more thoughtful approach becomes important. Instead of focusing on what has always been popular, it is more helpful to focus on what your body actually needs right now. Strength after 60 is not about pushing harder. It is about moving smarter, choosing exercises that support your joints, improve control, and help you feel more stable in your daily life. By shifting this perspective, you open the door to safer and more effective ways to build strength, without forcing your body into movements that may no longer serve you well. And this is where the conversation becomes even more meaningful. It is not just about changing opinions or trying something new. It is about understanding why certain approaches may work better for your body at this stage of life. When we look at this through a more informed lens, we begin to see that exercise is not one size fits all. Research in recent years has shown that small changes in movement can lead to very different results. For example, certain variations of familiar exercises can increase muscle engagement while placing less stress on the joints. This is important because it means you do not have to push harder to see progress. You simply need to move in a way that supports your body more effectively. What makes this approach powerful is that it is based on observation and evidence, not guesswork. Studies on older adults have consistently shown that when exercises are more targeted and controlled, people often experience better balance, improved stability, and greater comfort in everyday movements. These are not just numbers or abstract findings. They translate directly into real-life benefits, such as walking with more confidence, standing up with less effort, and feeling more secure during daily activities. At the same time, it is important to remember that every body is different. These insights are meant to guide, not replace personalized advice. If you have specific health concerns, it is always a good idea to speak with a qualified professional before making changes to your routine. But overall, this combination of simple explanation and science-based understanding helps build trust. It shows that you are not just following trends. You are making informed choices that support long-term strength, safety, and independence. And once you begin to see this more clearly, something important starts to change in how you think about your body. What many people experience as weakness or decline is not always the result of doing too little. In many cases, it is simply the result of how the body has adapted over time. The body is very good at finding ways to keep you moving. When one area becomes less active, another area quietly steps in to take over. This is especially common with the glutes. When these muscles are not working as they should, the body often shifts the effort to the thighs or the lower back. At first, this may not feel like a problem. You can still walk, stand, and move through your day. But over time, these patterns begin to add up. Movements become less efficient. Certain areas start to feel more tired or uncomfortable. Balance may feel less steady. And without realizing it, your body is working harder than it needs to, just to do simple tasks. This is not a sign that your body is failing. It is a sign that your body has been doing its best to adapt with the tools it has. And that is an important difference, because if something has been learned through adaptation, It can also be improved with the right approach. When you understand this, the focus shifts. It is no longer about pushing harder or blaming yourself for feeling weaker. It becomes about guiding your body back toward better patterns. By helping the right muscles do their job again, you can reduce unnecessary strain, improve stability, and move with more ease. This perspective is powerful because it replaces frustration with clarity. It shows that progress is not about starting over, but about making small, intentional adjustments that help your body work the way it was meant to. And when you start to guide your body back toward better movement patterns, one muscle group quickly stands out as a priority. It is not just about your legs in general. It is about a specific area that plays a central role in how you move every single day. Your glutes are one of the most important muscle groups for strength, balance, and overall stability. They support your hips, help keep your spine aligned, and allow you to perform simple but essential actions like standing up from a chair, walking with control, and climbing stairs with confidence. When these muscles are working well, movement feels smoother and more secure. But here is the challenge. Over many years, especially with long periods of sitting, these muscles can become less active. They are not necessarily gone, but they are not being used in the way they should be. As a result, other parts of the body begin to take over, and the balance we talked about earlier starts to shift even more. This is why some people feel unsteady or notice that everyday movements require more effort than before. It is not just about having less strength. It is about the right muscles not doing their job at the right time. By bringing attention back to the glutes, everything begins to make more sense. Instead of trying to strengthen everything at once, you can focus on reactivating the muscles that matter most for stability and control. This creates a more direct path to improvement. When your glutes begin to work again, even small movements can feel different. Standing becomes easier. Walking feels more controlled. And over time, this can help reduce the risk of losing balance and support a more independent and confident way of moving through daily life. And this brings us to an important realization that often surprises many people. Even when you are putting in the effort, even when you are doing an exercise that is widely recommended, the results may not always match what you expect. Squats are a perfect example of this. They are known as a full lower body movement, and it is true that they involve many muscles at the same time. But that does not guarantee that the right muscles are doing the work, especially as the body changes with age. For many older adults, the glutes do not naturally take the lead during a squat. Instead, stronger or more dominant areas, like the front of the thighs, often take over. The lower back may also begin to assist more than it should. From the outside, the movement looks correct. You are going up and down, completing the repetitions, and staying active. But inside the body, something different is happening. The muscles that are most important for balance and stability may not be fully engaged. This means that even after many repetitions, you may not be improving the areas that truly support safe and confident movement. This is where the idea of working smarter becomes essential. It is not just about how much you do, but how your body responds to what you do. When the focus shifts toward activating the right muscles with proper control, each movement becomes more meaningful. By understanding this, you can begin to choose exercises that match your needs more closely. Instead of relying only on tradition, you start paying attention to how your body feels and which muscles are actually working. This awareness becomes the foundation for safer, more effective progress over time. And once you understand that not every movement creates the result you are looking for, the next step becomes much clearer. It is not about doing more exercises. It is about choosing the right ones and performing them in a way that truly supports your body. A smarter approach begins with a simple idea. Focus on movements that directly activate the muscles you need, while also protecting your joints. This becomes especially important as the body becomes more sensitive to strain and less tolerant of unnecessary stress. Instead of forcing your way through exercises that feel uncomfortable, You begin to work with your body, not against it. This means selecting movements that allow you to feel the glutes working without placing pressure on the knees or lower back. It also means moving with control, staying within a range that feels safe, and gradually building strength over time. These small adjustments can make a significant difference in how your body responds. Another important part of this approach is simplicity. You do not need a complicated routine or a long list of exercises. In fact, having too many options can often make it harder to stay consistent. When movements are simple and easy to perform at home, it removes the barriers that often prevent people from taking action. This is what makes the process more approachable and sustainable. You are not trying to keep up with intense programs or unrealistic expectations. You are creating a routine that fits your life and supports your goals. Over time, this consistent and thoughtful approach helps build real strength, improve stability, and increase confidence in your everyday movements. And most importantly, it allows you to make progress in a way that feels safe, manageable, and lasting. As we move forward from building a smarter and safer approach to exercise, it becomes even more important to focus on movements that directly translate into real life. Strength alone is not enough. The body also needs control, coordination, and balance, especially in situations that happen every day without warning. This is where functional exercises truly stand out. Instead of training muscles in isolation or relying on movements that feel disconnected from daily activity, functional exercises mirror the way your body naturally moves. One clear example is the modified step down. This movement closely reflects actions like walking downstairs, stepping off a curb, or shifting your weight from one leg to another. These are simple tasks, but they require a high level of coordination and stability, especially as we age. By practicing this type of movement in a slow and controlled way, you are not just building strength in your legs, you are teaching your body how to stay balanced, how to respond to changes in position, and how to remain steady even when one leg is doing most of the work. This is essential for reducing the risk of falls, which often occur during these everyday transitions rather than during intense activity. What makes this approach so powerful is its relevance. You are not just exercising for the sake of exercise. You are preparing your body for real situations that matter. Over time, this leads to greater confidence, smoother movement, and a stronger sense of control in your daily life. As we continue building on the idea of functional strength in real-world movement, the next step is learning how to strengthen the body in a way that feels both safe and effective. This is where the hip thrust becomes especially valuable. While the previous movement focused on balance and control, this exercise allows you to rebuild strength in a more stable and supported position. The hip thrust directly targets the glutes, which are essential for supporting your hips, protecting your lower back, and improving overall stability. What makes this movement different from many traditional exercises is the level of control it provides. You are not rushing through repetitions or relying on momentum. Instead, you are slowly lifting and lowering your body with intention, which helps ensure that the right muscles are doing the work. To perform this movement, you begin in a seated position with your upper back supported on a stable surface. Your feet are placed firmly on the ground, and as you press through your heels, you gently lift your hips upward. At the top, your body forms a straight line, and this is where you pause briefly to feel the glutes engage. The focus is not on lifting as high as possible, but on maintaining proper alignment and control throughout the movement. One of the key benefits of the hip thrust is that it minimizes unnecessary stress on the knees and lower back. This makes it a practical and accessible option for those who may feel discomfort with more demanding exercises. At the same time, it helps improve body awareness by teaching you how to recognize when the correct muscles are active. Over time, this combination of safety, control, and targeted activation creates a strong foundation for better movement, helping you feel more stable, more confident, and more capable in your daily life. As you begin to feel more control through movements like the step down and more strength through exercises like the hip thrust, an important shift starts to happen. You may notice that progress is not coming from pushing harder, but from showing up regularly. This is where many people experience a breakthrough in how they think about exercise. It is easy to believe that results require intense workouts or long sessions, but in reality, lasting improvement often comes from consistency. Small efforts repeated over time allow the body to adapt in a steady and sustainable way. Instead of overwhelming yourself with complex routines, the focus becomes much simpler. Choose a few effective movements and practice them regularly with attention and care. This approach also extends beyond structured exercise. What you do throughout the rest of your day plays an equally important role. Long periods of sitting can reduce muscle activity even if you exercise a few times a week. That is why small daily habits can make a meaningful difference. Standing up more often, taking short walks, or gently moving your body between tasks all help reinforce the work you are doing during your workouts. What makes this strategy powerful is that it feels achievable. It removes the pressure to perform at a high level and replaces it with a rhythm that fits into daily life. Over time, these small and consistent actions begin to add up. Movements feel smoother, balance becomes more natural, and strength develops in a way that supports how you live each day. By focusing on consistency and simple habits, you are not just exercising. You are creating a foundation for long-term strength, stability, and confidence that can continue to grow over time. As everything comes together, a clearer and more meaningful picture begins to form. This journey has never been about chasing perfect form or doing the most challenging exercises. It has always been about something much deeper and more personal. It is about how you move through your day, how confident you feel in your body, and how much freedom you have to live life on your own terms. The real goal is not to perform like you did years ago or to compare yourself to anyone else. It is to maintain your independence, to feel steady when you walk, and to trust your body in the moments that matter most. Being able to stand up without hesitation, walk down stairs with control, or simply move without fear are all powerful signs of true strength. What you have seen throughout this journey is that small, thoughtful changes can lead to meaningful results. Choosing the right exercises, focusing on proper movement, and staying consistent over time can reshape how your body feels and functions. It is not about doing more. It is about doing what works for you in a safe and sustainable way. There is also an important reminder here. Progress does not have to be dramatic to be valuable. Even small improvements in balance, comfort, or confidence are worth recognizing. They are signs that your body is responding and adapting in a positive way. At any age, your body has the ability to improve when it is given the right support. With patience, awareness, and consistent effort, you can continue to build strength that supports your daily life. And in the end, that is what truly matters. Not just living longer, but living better, with confidence, independence, and a sense of control that stays with you every single day.